Now, I've got a really large garden, and let's face it, gardens require maintenance if you want them to look good. But how do you get a large garden, in fact, any garden, to look good without having to do a huge amount of work? Well, it gets down to two things: clever design and the right plants. Great designers use a careful mix of plants to provide function, such as filling with foliage or adding colour contrasts, and others that provide features such as architectural shape and form, things like dracaenas and yuccas. Foliage plants like this are ideal filler plants. They fill the whole area out, but they look good all year round, and they're incredibly low maintenance, and best of all, require no supplementary watering once they're established. This is one of my all-time favourites. I know it's hard to believe, but this one achieves all of those characteristics really well. It's called Lomandra tunica. I first used it around my grass trees. The Lomandra is a distant relative of the grass tree, but the foliage is incredibly complementary. And this is a classic example of a feature plant working extremely well with an amenity plant to produce stunning results. This is an incredibly tough Aussie plant called Dianella Little Rib. It's fantastic for verge-side plantings, and you've probably noticed it in your area, as it's often specified by landscape architects. Little Rib is particularly good in the southern states, and once it's established, it doesn't require any supplementary watering. I know I've been saying they're filler plants, but there's one in particular that I think is just a standout feature in its own right, and it's this Dianella here. It looks sensational. It's called Utopia, and look at the variegation. It is just beautiful. This is the one I'd consider using as a feature plant in its own right. Growing in a pot, it looks just fantastic. Now for a different way to use them. Maybe you could mass plant them on your verge. Turn it into a water-free, maintenance-free feature that your neighbours envy. Or even better, plant them vertically. They look great in vertical gardens, and my informal rock wall is going to be fantastic thanks to Lomandra tunica. So the next time you're thinking about planting out a garden, think about low maintenance, water-wise plants that look fantastic too.